Terry got a starring role in a one-act play at Hatboro Horsham High School. And it's just 30 minutes long, but it's lots of fun. I think you'll really enjoy it. Here we go.
After all these years.
Please, Mother, don't do this.
But I just don't understand. Why? I keep asking myself, why?
And what answer do you get?
Answer? I don't even understand the question. After all, we have everything here. Absolutely everything. Tell me what you don't have.
What?
Tell me what you don't have. What's missing? What don't you?
I don't have George Clooney harnessed to my bed.
And that's what you want, is it?
Well, I can think of worse things to keep in your bedroom.
If you want a George Clooney strap...
Harnessed.
What?
Harnessed, not strapped.
Harnessed then. If you wanted,
George Clooney.
George Clooney strapped, harnessed to your bed. You could always have him harnessed to your bed here.
I'm not sure that's very likely, Mother. Besides, I think you're missing the point.
You have everything we want here, Emily.
You have everything you want in your mother.
Oh, Emily, think about it. I've done little else recently. Haven't I always been there for you?
Yes, Mother.
I'm always there when you come home from work?
Yes, Mother.
I'm always up in the morning to ensure that you have your 2 boiled eggs and toast before you go out to a wild, cruel world.
Yes, Mother.
Isn't there a lovely hot cup of tea waiting for you the moment that you get home from work?
Yes, Mother.
I'm there for the good times and bad.
Yes, Mother.
Let's not forget the bad times, Emily.
I can't, Mother. I'm enduring one right now.
Wasn't I there when your cat died?
Oh, that might be because you ran it over.
Oh, yes, bad example.
Mother.
It's a cruel, wicked world out there, Emily. Not a place for one so lovely, so innocent to be left on her own.
Mother, I'm hardly lovely.
I meant me.
Oh, this has got to stop.
Then stop it, Emily. Don't move out.
I'm not bloody emigrating.
No, that'll be the next thing you're down. Before I know it, you'll have started your own sheep farm in Australian outback.
Oh, for the love of...
You're leaving me like your late father did.
Father's not dead, Mother.
I didn't say he was dead, Emily. I said he was late. Late for the theater, late for dinner, late for our anniversary, and now late with Milton Keynes with some tart called Brenda.
Barbara.
Brenda, what difference does it make?
Mother, have you looked at me recently?
I look at you every day, and let me tell you, you're putting on a little weight if you don't mind. Unfortunately, not in the bust where you can afford to put a little on. No, you always put on the...
Mother! You may look at me every day, but I can assure you, you do not see me.
Oh, Emily, I beg of you, don't do this.
I've made up my mind.
You want a sliver of chocolate cake after all?
I am leaving home and buying the apartment, and as I paid for this sofa, I'm taking it with me.
Oh, how cruel to lose your daughter and the sofa at the same time.
Mother, I'm leaving home.
Don't say it out loud. If you don't say it out loud, then he will hear you.
I don't think my leaving home is high on the list of God's priorities at the moment.
How could you leave me in my condition?
Sorry, Mother, I didn't realize you were pregnant.
Pregnant? I wouldn't let a man touch me, even if he was wearing a diver suit and 10 condoms.
Mother, please!
Emily, all men are the same. They only want one thing, they don't know how to use it once they get to it.
You mentioned it before.
Besides, I was talking about my heart condition.
You don't have a heart condition.
I will if you leave home.
Mother, I've made up my mind.
Do you want my death on your conscience?
You are not going to die.
That's what they said about poor Mrs. Wainwright at number 6.
She was 102.
I knew running that marathon was a mistake for her. 3rd day of training, she was hit by an ice cream van.
Very sad.
It certainly was. One moment, standing in line, waiting for an ice cream cone. The next, God, oh, how can this hurt?
You hated her.
If you're not around, who will stop me from running that marathon? Who will stop me from having that fatal ice cream?
It's a chance I'm prepared to take.
Emily! What? Emily, you are too young to move away.
For heaven's sakes, I'm 42 years old.
A little baby girl.
I'm stagnating here.
You should really use those Tampax, dear.
I've lived with you all my life. I've never stayed one night away from this house or you.
I blame myself. I've obviously given you too much freedom, and now you're about to abuse it.
Other children stayed at friends' houses for sleepovers, but did I? No, not very likely. I had to tell my friends that my mother wasn't agoraphobic with claustrophobic tendencies.
Well, I did after your father left. I had everything from asthma to irritable bowel syndrome.
I remember it well.
It was such a shock when your father left.
Yes, it was a shock for him as well. Apparently it often is when you're arrested.
And if it wasn't bad enough, you ran off with that bloody Belinda woman.
Barbara!
I thought she was a kind of good doer, helping a disillusioned man to cross from darkness back on the route to salvation. Wasn't she with the church?
Mother, she was a dancer.
I thought she had a religious bent.
Oh, she could beg, but not religiously.
After 3 years of visiting him every week in prison, he did to me what you're about to do to me.
I can assure you I am not running off with a dancer.
You just might as well be.
Well, can't you see it from my point of view? I'm a 42-year-old plain woman with almost no physical attraction and no prospect to ever tempt a man into marrying me.
Yes. What's the downside to that?
I need this apartment for me. Shit, can't you understand any of this?
Is that any way for a teacher to talk?
Oh, shit.
I see there'll be no dinner for you tonight.
Look, for the last time, this is your shrine. I mean home. But from now on, number 22 Hardcastle Court will be mine.
22 Hardcastle Court?
Yes.
I think I'm having a heart attack. Oh, the pain!
Mother.
Yes, my dear. What is it, my angel? Speak to me while you still can.
Your heart is on the left-hand side of your chest, not the right.
Bloody school teachers.
Colin.
Hello, miss.
Hello, miss.
Samantha, what are you both doing here at 10 to 12 at night?
Oh, it's the play, miss.
Is it?
Colin has never performed Shakespeare before.
Actually, I've never even been to the theater before.
Really?
He's not a natural, you see.
Really?
And I'm worried.
Oh dear, that will never do.
Well, Mommy and Daddy are coming to the play, and I don't think Daddy sees Colin as a Romeo.
And what does Daddy see Colin as?
A long-distance truck driver. Very long distance.
Right, well, we'll discuss it tomorrow at school.
I just need a few tips.
Oh, he does, Miss Sinclair. Tell him that Shakespeare never climbed the balcony with a rose in his mouth and a bottle of Lambrusca under his arm.
I'm just trying to engulf myself in the character.
Very noble of you. We will discuss it tomorrow at school. Oh, wait a minute. How did you two know where I live? I only moved in today.
Oh, your mom told us.
My mother?
That's right. She came around the school and handed out your address to all your class.
Oh, did she?
We all had to promise her that we'd come visit you as often as possible.
That's right. She said that if we didn't, that you might get so lonely that you could do something dangerous.
She doesn't know how true that is.
Hello?
Baby Billings?
What?
Oh, sorry. I should introduce myself. I am Mr. X.
Do you have any idea the time?
Oh, I certainly do. I have the same watch my father gave me on my 21st birthday, and it never loses a second of time.
What is this?
It's a Rolex, I think.
I wasn't talking about the watch. Who is
It
this?
is I, Mr. X. I thought Mr. Y had told you I'd be called.
I think you have a problem with your vowels and you must have the wrong number.
Oh, I don't think so. You see, I'm very meticulous when I dial a number. I do so slowly, carefully, and precisely.
Do you?
Oh, I most certainly do, Miss Billings. Or may I be so bold as to call you Bibby?
Call me what?
No, I think Bibby's much nicer than what.
I'm about to put the phone down.
Don't do that. If you do that, we won't be able to speak to each other anymore. You will have disconnected us, and this call will instantly be terminated.
You haven't been speaking to my mother, have you?
Not that I'm aware of. But no more of this subterfuge. It's time to get directly and instantly to the point. May I do that, Miss Bibby? May I?
Look, I really think you've got the wrong number.
I've been highly recommended.
Yes, and I'm sure you're very proud, but it is very late, and as I've been trying to tell you...
0206 351 6621.
What?
That's your phone number.
Well, yes,
Number
but...
22 Hardcastle Court.
Well, yes, but...
Well, then I have precisely the right number and not what you believe to be the wrong number.
Well, so it appears that I am not Bibby.
Oh.
There must be some kind of mistake with
Is
the...
Bibby there?
What?
Can I speak to Bibby Billings?
There is no Bibby anything here. I'm the only one here. I live here.
Oh, I see.
Finally, I've known the continents to move faster than getting through to you.
Silly me, really. I should have thought.
Oh, don't worry, these things can happen.
Bibby must be your professional name.
My what?
Well, anyway, I'd best go. It's very late, and I have to be up in the morning at 5:42.
Look, Mr. X.
It was really only a courtesy call anyway.
A what?
Just confirming my appointment for tomorrow night that Mr. Y made for me on his last visit.
Appointment?
Yes, 8 p.m.
8?
Marvelous. See you then.
Hello. Don't live with me, I'll live with you.
Mother.
Think of what fun we could have. I could do the cooking, the cleaning, and the decorating. Possibly replan the kitchen as it is on the small side. Maybe have a water bed in my room. You, on the other hand, can do everything else. It'll just be like the old times. You, me, and the sofa.
No, Mother.
You're saying no, Mother, without even thinking about it first?
Okay.
At last.
I'll think about it.
Good.
I've thought about it, no.
You're beginning to remind me of your late father.
For the last time, Father's not dead.
If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Goodbye, Mother. Wait a minute, Mother.
You've changed your mind, I knew it. It's the loneliness, isn't it? I know what you're going through, and there's nothing to feel ashamed about.
Mother, I've only been gone one day.
Are you sure? It seems much longer than that.
Do you know a Mr. X?
Wasn't he that talking horse?
No, that was Mr. Ed.
Oh, very clever. What can you do nowadays?
Are you saying you don't know a Mr. X?
Why should I? I only associate myself with people of more than one letter in their surname.
Right. Well, if you are...
Who is Mr. X?
Well, that's just it. I don't know.
Wait, this Mr. X.
What about him?
Is he a man?
I think the answer to that is in the question. Goodbye, Mother. What on earth are you two doing here?
You need some help with the shopping, miss?
Colin, this is highly irregular. School is over for the day.
We thought you might just appreciate a little bit of extra help.
For the last time, Samantha, we've been through this time and time again, and the answer was no when you both asked me this morning, and the answer is still no now.
You don't know what we were going to ask you.
I think I do.
But it could be anything.
Could it now?
Well, it could be.
Yes, but it actually isn't.
Well,
is it?
actually, no.
Look, kids, I don't want to sound unhelpful, but I just moved into this apartment today. Everything's a mess. Besides, I still got a boatload of grading to do.
You got any chips, miss? I'm starving.
It would only be for a short while. Please don't let Daddy see Colin like this.
You wouldn't like to see me starving.
See what I mean?
Chips are in the other bag, Colin. Look, Samantha, he's your boyfriend.
But he's your Romeo.
Well, you volunteered him.
Well, it was either him or Norman Nippy. And I couldn't bear the thought of acting opposite to someone so spotty with such poor gastric control.
How romantic.
I expect there was always Wallace praying, but we all know he bats for the other side, and a mincing Romeo would hardly be authentic.
Samantha?
Miss, I am desperate to become an actress, and if my father sees me perform in a professional adaptation of one of Shakespeare's most beautiful and eloquent works of art, then he'll pay for me to go to NYU, or somewhere equally as prestigious. But if Colin should balls it up, well then...
Why are you talking about balls it up?
You know, like you naturally do.
You're ashamed of me, aren't you?
Oh, Colin. Of course I am. That's why I want you to improve yourself.
I thought you wanted me to play Romeo to your Juliet because you loved me with a passion and fancied the pants off me.
Nicely put.
You said that if I played Romeo and your dad liked the show enough to put you through acting school, then you'd let me kiss you.
That's quite enough of that.
See what I mean?
Sorry, miss. Shouldn't have said that.
No, Colin, you shouldn't have. But you two really are a match made in heaven, aren't you?
Oh, you've got to help us. I do love Colin in a basic, sort of primeval way. Haven't you ever enjoyed a bit of rough before?
Samantha? I haven't even enjoyed a bit of smooth.
We only need a little bit of extra tuition. Besides, Colin recites the balcony scene like a market trader, selling potatoes.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, you won't regret it.
I already am.
Got any more chips?
You guys can come back tonight for a quick rehearsal.
I'll say the words very fast.
But hopefully in the right order this time.
1 hour, that's all I'm giving you. 1 hour.
Oh, you're brilliant.
I'm mad, Samantha, that's what I am.
What time, miss?
I don't know, say 7:30 or so these papers to get graded.
Excellent. Shall I bring snacks?
It's a rehearsal, Colin, not a picnic.
Sorry.
We'll see you later on tonight then, miss.
Hello, Mother.
How did you know it was me?
Lucky guess?
I'm only going to say this once.
Good.
I've got little cakes for tea.
Goodbye, Mother. Whoa. You two are supposed to be here to rehearse Romeo and Juliet, not to find an available sofa to make out on.
I'm just practicing the love scene, miss.
By the looks of Colin, that's one thing you aren't having much trouble with.
Sorry, miss.
You really want to be a thespian, Samantha?
Oh, God. Can I watch?
Thespian, not lesbian! Why don't we have a short break, have a drink or something and then run through the play one more time before you two have to go home.
Oh no, we don't have to go that early, miss.
Oh, but you do, Samantha.
No, but really, we can stay.
Oh, but I insist. Besides, Colin's not quite as bad as I thought he'd be.
Really?
No, I lied. I just want some peace and quiet in my own apartment.
I am here, you know.
Oh, I know, my little petal. You dunk your biscuit in your hot cup of tea and you can be my Romeo. And I will be your beloved Juliet. What do you think?
Overacting on a grand scale.
Surprise!
Not really.
You'll never guess why I'm here.
I think I have the tiniest suspicion.
Do you remember Mrs. Winkleman?
No.
Aren't you going to invite me in?
No.
Well, Mrs. Winkleman and I used to play bridge.
You play bridge?
Yes, my dear, there was a lot of things that you don't know about.
I don't ever remember you playing any card game of any kind.
Well, when's the last time you played bridge with Miss Wrinklewright? A little while ago.
How little a while ago?
38 years ago. That was the last time I saw her.
Oh, a close friend then.
Well, she always had a funny way about her.
A funny way.
She used to shout when you made the wrong bid.
Who did she actually used to shout at?
Well, funny enough, that would be me.
And that would be because...
Well, because I can't play bridge.
Now there's a surprise. Mother, what do you want?
Well, I bumped into Mrs. Wrinklewright in the supermarket today, and...
After 38 years?
Yes, she's hardly changed a bit. Well, aside from 2 artificial hips, a pacemaker, and the worst varicose veins I've ever seen.
Well, the years have obviously been kind to her.
Well, she wanted to know if you and I can make a fourth for bridge tonight at our house. I mean, my house.
Bridge?
Yes, think of what fun we could have. She will be bringing him and Santa Claus. They've been living together for years now. Not married, though. She said she wouldn't marry anyone else after her poor Walter passed on. He drowned, you know.
Tragic.
It certainly was. He fell asleep while eating her soup. Chicken, I believe it was. Then she came in from the kitchen to find him face down in the soup bowl.
Oh, for goodness sake.
The verdict was suicide.
Did he even wrote in the alphabet spaghetti?
Well,
what?
well, what about bridge?
Oh, sounds fascinating. A card game you can't play, a card game I certainly cannot play. Not really any point in going, is there? Ooh, unless of course we wish to make a suicide pact in a bowl of chicken soup.
I see you have guests.
Goodbye, Mother. Come on, you two. Either rehearse or get a room. What am I saying? I'm your teacher. Now what?
Guests would like to join us for dinner tonight.
Mother, please.
Go on, guest.
I'm really very busy.
One guest, you'll be so excited you'll want to join us.
Please go home.
One guest. Robbie Williams? No, although he was particularly good in that Mrs. Doubtfire.
That was Robin Williams.
Oh, and I also loved in that comedy program. What was it? What was it? It was so funny. Oh, I remember. Mick and Mobley.
Mork and Mindy.
That's right, Mindy and Mork. Do you remember the one when,
Who's coming for dinner?
Sebastian.
Sebastian
Delgado. Do you remember him, Emily?
Yes, Mother.
You loved him, didn't you, Emily?
Yes, Mother.
Wouldn't you like to see him again?
But I've never actually seen him, have I?
Well,
And that would be why?
because you've always looked in the wrong place for him?
No, Mother.
Because he was very shy?
No, Mother.
Because he was imaginary?
That's right, Mother. He was my imaginary friend when I was 7.
I just thought maybe you'd like to relive your youth.
That's what I'm trying to do in my apartment, if you only let me do so.
Only because I miss you, Emily.
I know you do, Mother, but you'll get used to it, I promise. Now, is there anything else?
No.
Any card games we can't play or dinner dates with non-existing people?
No.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I only wanted to help. But if you don't want my help, if you are so determined to be self-sufficient that anything I say is always the wrong thing, then I will just go home and leave you to your entertaining.
Good.
I won't say another word on the subject.
Good.
After all, it is your life.
That's right.
I will just go home to my empty apartment, eat a lonely meal all by myself, and just to break the monotony, I'll stick my head in the oven.
Goodbye, Mother. Your dedication to the part really knows no bounds. For heaven's sakes, leave each other alone for a minute. Oh, for the love of... Will you leave me alone?
Is this a bad time?
Sorry, I thought you were my mother.
Oh, it's probably my hair.
Your hair?
I know we need to get it cut, but then there are always 1,000 things to do that seem to take precedent over getting one's hair cut. Don't you find?
Well,
Now that seems to be a rather large mistake.
the haircut.
Well, yes, particularly now if I remind you of your
I
mother.
think we're talking at cross purposes.
Never mind, no offense taken.
Sorry, and you are
Around 13 minutes early, I'm afraid.
Ah, 34.
Why, you of course, Bibby.
What did you call me?
Bibby Billings. Oh, sorry, I'm just not thinking. To be honest, I'm very nervous. This is my first time, you see, and let's just say X marks the spot.
The phone call, you telephoned me last night. You're Mr. X?
Oh, Sibley. My name's really George Sibley. I only introduced myself as Mr. X for extra mystery.
Look, I think there's been a terrible mistake.
You think the Mr. X thing was a tad too much?
No, not about the Mr. X thing.
Did I get the time wrong?
No, I am not this Bibby Billings. I've never even heard of her, and what's more, I couldn't care if I ever hear of her again.
What are you trying to say?
It's not rocket science, George.
But this is 22 Hardcastle Court.
I know that, George. I live
Well,
here.
then you must be Bibby Billings. Is this all part of the act?
The
Well,
act?
of course, Bernie told me you were very fussy.
Fussy?
Said you only took on new clients if they came highly recommended. I
Clients?
should have mentioned him in the beginning.
Who?
Bernie Browning. You probably don't remember, but he and a party of 3 from the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club, you made their stay here most enjoyable. In fact, Bernie, he's the chairman of the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club. He said you should be one of the top 10 tourist attractions in the world.
Wait a minute here.
Mind you, he also liked the Tower Club.
Mr.
He's
Sibley.
a bit of a stickler for anything historical.
Look, just a
But
minute.
he said to me, he said, Georgie boy, he always calls me Georgie boy. He said, Georgie boy, if you never again visit a high-class woman of the night, then you make sure you give good old Bibby Billings a damn good...
Mr. Sibley!
Please, Bibby, call me George.
Could you stop talking for a moment
And
and...
come in, of course. You can't stand on the doorstep, not with what we've got in mind. Oops.
I think there's been a terrible mistake.
Obviously. I must have the wrong day.
What?
You're obviously very busy. I'll pop back tomorrow. Shall we say 8?
8?
Perfect, until tomorrow.
What?
I think we've got it, miss.
What?
The rehearsal, miss, I've really learned a lot.
He certainly has, Miss Sinclair.
Really?
I reckon Colin's a natural. I need a drink.
Sorry, miss, can't stop for more refreshment. Well, not of the liquid kind.
Oh, Colin, you are insatiable.
No, I'm Presbyterian.
That's it, out.
Calm down, miss.
Out home now!
No, her mother was right. She is a little highly strung.
Hello, Mother.
How did you know it was me again?
Now, it could either be you or George Sibley, that is.
George who?
You may know him as the mysterious yet intriguing man from the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club.
Have you been drinking, Emily?
It doesn't matter, Mother.
Are you involved with the man?
No, Mother, I am not.
No, of course you're not. I don't know what made you think of something so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I just meant after all these years, you're hardly likely to.
Do what, Mother? Go on a date, have a drink with a man, have a man shag my brains out?
Emily!
Goodbye, Mother. I don't know why I didn't just open this to the public.
It's me again.
What do you want to discuss now? Interest-free
I'm
credit?
sorry for the intrusion. May I come in?
Oh, why not? I wouldn't want a bad reputation with the rest of the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club.
You have a nice place here, Bibby.
Here we go again.
Nice sofa.
Wait a minute
Look,
here.
I've only come back to talk.
Look, George Sibley, for the last time, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but 22 Hardcastle Court isn't a house of disrepute, and I am not a you-know-what. And I know what you want here, George, and I can assure you, you are definitely not getting it.
Well, that's good, Bibby, because I really don't want it.
What?
Well, that's why I came back, to explain.
You don't want it?
No, I never really did.
Why, George? Why don't you want it?
Well, you see, I told you I've been highly recommended by Bernie, the chairman of the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club. But in truth, I've never...
Something wrong with you, George?
No, Bibby, not you.
Not young enough, or maybe a little on the frumpy side?
No, of course not. It's just that I've never paid for you-know-what ever in my entire life, and all that talk before was just bravado. I'm known in the corridors of the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club as having a little too much bravado.
Oh, maybe I've got that spinster look, or the kind of features that don't turn men's heads, but only their stomachs.
And frankly, I just had to come back and apologize for wasting your time. You see, I don't think I could ever violate such a beautiful woman as herself. It would be...
Maybe if I stuck a brown paper bag over my head and carried a sign that said... Wait, what?
I'm known in the corridors of the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling clubs having a little too much bravado.
No, not that bit, but after that.
And frankly, I just had to come back and apologize.
No, not that bit.
I'm sorry, I'm confused as to the bit you're referring to.
See, I could never violate you, bit.
Oh, that bit. Well, you see, I could never violate such a beautiful woman as yourself.
That's the bit.
You see, I just don't think I'm the type. Bernie's much more outgoing than I am.
You think I'm beautiful?
Mind you, he's been married 4 times now.
You think I'm
His
beautiful?
last wife caught him in a very compromising position with the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society Bowling Club's tea lady, only 6 3/4 minutes before we had to play the Deepdale Town Center round table in the cup qualifier.
You think I'm beautiful?
Anyone with half a brain would think you're beautiful, baby.
Oh,
Not that I have half a brain.
what?
Maybe not the most charismatic of men, but I'm often referred to as Chatterton's answer to Alan Seeger.
Sugar?
I take 1 in coffee and none whatsoever in tea. Funny that, I used to have a sweet tooth when I was a child.
Look, George, could you stop talking for a moment?
I know. I can go on and on and on and on. It can drive a person mad. I don't know why I do it. I think it only happens when I'm around someone who makes me nervous. I remember my school teacher, Mrs. Winterbottom, always used to tell me...
George, enough!
That's it. That's exactly what she used to say. You are quite right, baby. Enough is enough. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to break our business arrangement.
Look, George.
No, baby! Don't try to persuade me with your womanly ways. I'm only flesh and blood, after all.
I think there's been a terrible mistake.
What?
Well, truly, I am not this baby Billings. I know this is 22 Hardcastle Court, but I've only just moved in recently. Well, that's right, I'm not a you-know-what. I bought this place from a Belinda Baker, and obviously, professionally, she goes by the name of...
Baby Billings.
That's right, I'm Emily Sinclair.
Oh, God, what have I done?
Look, really, it's okay. I will scream at that as a coach party from a Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society bowling club.
I don't like to come in without knocking.
Ringing.
Whatever, I came as soon as I could.
It must be something of a record.
Who is this disgusting Mr. X that has corrupted my poor innocent sweet baby? I'm telling you, Emily, all men are the same. They only want one thing. Once they've had it, they shack it up with the dancer and leave you a distraught, broken woman. I'm not letting you go through what I had to. Who is this?
Sibley, George Sibley, pleased to meet you.
From the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club.
Just as I thought. From where?
You must be Emily's sister. I can see the likeness.
After all these years, and staying in my apartment, you're already entertaining in your apartment. It would be bad enough if you were entertaining men that had more than one letter in their surname, but you are... Sister?
George, have you eaten?
I only had time for a bowl of soup at 6:43.
Well, I see what you mean. After all, I do take exceptional care of my complexion.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me, George?
Are you sure?
Although I have to say it's in the genes. My maternal grandmother looked 74 when she died.
Are you sure a beautiful girl like you would want to go out on a date with someone like me?
Well, in fact, she was 95.
George, I would love to go out to dinner with you.
It would be my most absolute pleasure, baby. I mean, Emily.
At least she didn't suffer and she looked amazing.
Who?
My grandmother, your great-grandmother.
Goodbye, Mother.
Emily, what are you doing?
Well, George Sibley and I are going out on a date, aren't we, George?
We most certainly are, Emily. We most certainly are.
You don't know this man from Adam, Emily.
George.
What?
George, not Emily.
There you go. His name is George, not Adam, so you have nothing to worry about.
Well, he could be a rapist or a serial killer.
Don't forget to lock up after you leave.
Emily, think of your reputation. Emily! Emily, what are you doing? Emily? Emily, is that you? I knew you couldn't walk out on your poor, lonely, and depressed mother, even though I have retained my girlish good looks and beautiful complexion. He's probably left you already, that George Adam person. I'm telling you, Emily, all men are the same and...
Hello?
Emily?
I beg your pardon.
There must be some mistake. You don't sound like Emily.
Well, that's because I'm not Emily.
Who is this?
Bibby Billings.
Who?
Bibby Billings? Just phoned up to check.
To check? To check on what?
Have you heard from the Chatterton Anglo Cooperative Society's bowling club?
I just keep it stored inside my head. Let it go at random intervals.
Wait, I don't want to be emotional.
Over here!
Oh, we've been. And look, we're here at Lance's.
He's gonna cut that out.
I'm kidding, I'm so sorry.
I don't have to cut it out.
I'm wearing a dog collar.
I'm wearing the dog collar.
Are you happy it's over?
It's bittersweet.
It's bittersweet.
I'm sad, but then happy I don't have to go to rehearsal.
I'm glad I'm gonna graduate. Like that's.
Hey, Todd, that away.
I've been asked to come.